Hello for those who are watching. Good morning, good afternoon, or night, wherever you are at. I am in Texas, so it's early morning. Warming up for today's work using my Facial Feature Guide Volume 1 Tattooing Workbook, which is available on Amazon.com. If you head on over to Amazon.com, type in Daniel Yuck, you'll see an assortment of various tattooing workbooks like this that I have available for grabs. I'm also using the Ink Claw Challenger tattoo machine along with an Ink Claw ballpoint cartridge here, as you can see. Ballpoint cartridge pin. Excuse me there. So what I'm, excuse me, what I'm doing is essentially establishing the boundaries that I don't want to work past, so that way I know kind of where I'm going to be depositing the ink. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to let me know. Good morning, Justin. Hey, Schnitzel, I'm good. How are you? Hey, Schnitzel. Morning, Justin. Justin, I went to a tattoo convention yesterday and got a 25 pack of 1 ounce bottles of Eternal. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Is it a color or like a gray wash set? That's cool. I actually got some Intense Black Label. I placed an order not too long ago. But here I have Intense Black Label. I am going to be doing an in-depth review on this. I'm going to be doing some tattoos on myself with this soon for you all as well. So I have some videos coming. Color, got it for 211 with text, non-line illustrated piece. Oh, that's awesome. That's actually a good steal. What, was it like a specific pack or was it like basic colors? Like, like the essentials like reds and blues? Or was it like a pastel pack or something? I don't want to use any sort of hard lining to establish these areas because I want this to stay more on, I guess, like a realistic side. So therefore, I don't do any sort of hard lining. I just use little dashes as you see me doing here. It took me a long time to get used to the concept of tattoos without lines. I'm still learning it actually as I go. Basic set of 25 colors, and they gave me color within muscle. Oh, that's awesome, man. Hey, Crime Loss, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate you. Thank you for liking the stream. Thank you for spending time with me here this morning. I appreciate you. Man, that's a good deal, Justin. That's awesome. I would have been happy with that too. I definitely would have took that bundle as well. Maybe conventions are probably like the way to go to get ink and stuff. That's probably a smart way to go. I remember I got my hand tattoo on the top of my left hand right here done at a tattoo convention. I'm hoping you all can see what I'm working on. If not, I'll zoom it in when I go back here. One thing that I'm really learning, especially working in these workbooks, is that I tend to move a little too fast sometimes, or actually more times often than not. So I'm really focusing on my hand speed to my voltage and maintaining a healthy voltage while keeping a good, healthy hand speed. So for portrait work, no highlights because then it would look weird. Exactly, yeah. So for portraits, I don't use any sort of hard lining. I just use, you're gonna see here as I kind of work it up, I just use a series of like dashes to create up a specific area that I'm working on. And with these sort of designs, I work like in one section at a time and then I move on to the other. No hard lining at all, which takes a bit more time, but I like it. I remember when I first started doing designs that involved no lining, it was a bit to get comfortable with. But now, the more that I do it, the more I step outside my comfort zone, the more comfortable I get. Exactly, yeah. So floating the needle, just using the very tip of it works. That's a good. You stipple shade the whole thing. Yes, I'll stipple shade the whole thing. It doesn't teach mag control, unfortunately, since I don't have a mag ballpoint cartridge. I believe there's actually a couple of companies that are in the works of a ballpoint mag cartridge, which may kind of give us a sort of like introduction to mag control. But as of now, no. But one thing that I do find is like the techniques, the movements that I'm creating and learning here transfer over and translate really nicely though to fake skin and then transferring over to human skin nicely. I use like a series of whip motions, cross hatching, and I work off just the very tip of the needle to apply layer upon layer so that way I don't saturate too quickly or damage the paper here. So I'm just using a very superficial layer of my needle tip. As light as I can get it, I'll go ahead and touch the skin with the lightest of the tip that I can. I'm not sure if that even makes sense, but I hope you get the point there. So as you can see, just small back and forth pendulum motions when necessary, and then I'll use small whip motions like this when necessary. Typically, if the area is too tight for me to pendulum in that area, then I won't add any sort of pendulum motions. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Thank you all who are joining. Thank you all for spending the morning with me. I'm grateful for your support and time. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. It says here, crime lust. I use Indian ink for my tattoo. For tattoo black. Came out good. Oh, that's awesome. I haven't heard of that ink. No, is it like a brand of ink? Is that like the brand Indian ink? I haven't heard of it. Yeah, I agree, Justin. I agree. I believe Inkclaw is actually working on one from what I last heard. But yeah, Inkclaw is working on a ballpoint cartridge. I just realized that I can scroll on the screen to read your comments. That's awesome. I would suggest using Kurosumi lining ink stays dark and black after 7 years. Yeah, I've heard good things about that one as well. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. I had to sneeze there. Yes, I am streaming on YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, it's probably because you don't see the same questions in this group right here, right? That I'm answering. Let me actually adjust this camera real quick to where I'm working. Thank you, Schnitzel. I appreciate that. This little stand's not really working with me here. Oh, nice. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. There's some other people in here as well that are joining us, asking questions and stuff. Spending the morning here. I appreciate your support. Thank you. Yeah, I heard good things about Kurosumi. I'm not sure if that's the right pronunciation, but I've heard good things about it, and I've seen several artists use it. So I'm definitely at one point gonna try it out as well. One of my favorite things about working in these workbooks is since I'm working on paper and I'm practicing, I couldn't really take my time. I don't have any sort of like unwanted pressure of a client wanting me to finish or of just the flow of the day or anything like that. So I'm really able like to focus in on my practice and really find resolutions to issues that I am experiencing, and that's what I love about this. I'll start most of my mornings doing this for about an hour or two, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm really like inspired, sometimes I'll go on for 3 hours just kind of practicing. And I do feel like it makes all the difference when I get to the tattoo machine. I feel much more confident. Let me see if I can zoom in here in a moment a little bit more. Back in the day, Indian ink was used old school. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I like Radiant as well. I'm a fan of Radiant ink. That's actually one of the first color sets I got, and I enjoyed that color set. Dynamic's pretty good, but I haven't tried all of their colors. I haven't tried Venom Black ink. No, I've only the inks that I've tried are Intense Super Black. I've tried Dynamic Black. I've tried. I'm going to be using the Intense Black label soon. I've used Formula 23 by Intense as well. I think I'm missing. I've used Mom's Black Pearl. I've also used Black Pearl is pretty cool. Black Pearl is cool on human skin as well. I've also used. There's another one, Allegory. There you go, Allegory Black. Is the live stream in horizontal view on your end? If anyone's looking into like learning realism or that sort of thing, I'm also developing my skills within realism. This book definitely helps me a lot. It's called the Facial Feature Guide, and it kind of specializes in like helping us get more comfortable with applying eyes, as you can see, noses, hair textures, lips, that sort of thing. Although it's not like 100% realism, I feel like it's a great introduction and a great step in that direction. No, I definitely didn't invent the ballpoint cartridge. I have a dynamic triple black. It's nice. I've seen triple black. I haven't used it yet, but I'm definitely gonna try it. It is on my list to try. I wanted to review it. Is it where'd you get Venom ink from? Never heard of it. Personally, I don't trust mom ink because all their recalls in the last. Yeah, I get you. I haven't had any issues like the Black Pearl Mom's ink. It was like a. It wasn't like a. It was from Mom's if I'm correct, but it wasn't anything that was like a. How would I describe it? Like a sort of like how Intense has a black label. This one was like a separate thing that they were doing. I guess Black Pearl is what it was called. I didn't have any issues with that or like skin irritations or anything. Revolution Black is dark. Oh, nice. Okay, I haven't heard of Revolution or the Black. Yeah, those are the inks that I tried. I thought the Black Pearl was good. I thought the Allegory Black was good as well. I thought Intense Formula 23, that one was my favorite, or is currently. I love Dynamic Black as well. I have used Dynamic Black Gray Wash. I like that one as well. I haven't had any issues like tattoos that I did. I haven't had any like crazy allergic reactions had with them. I did some tattoos with the Black Pearl on myself and other people. Didn't have any issues. My dominant ink though was Intense Formula 23 for human skin, but before that was the Black Pearl and Super Black. Super Black just kind of was too thick and it dried up too quickly, and it wasn't for like multi-purpose. It was more for like packing, saturation. It can be used, but some could see it as a little hard to work with because of its thickness. I tried Radiant. Radiant's also nice. I tried their inks, their colored ink set. I actually did a review on it as well. Just layer on layer. How many kilo? Authority on regulations. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Thank you for the kind feedback. Very grateful for that. Made my morning. I appreciate you. I'm in Wisconsin and Madison having a convention, bought 3-day pass for it. Oh, that's awesome, Justin. Are you going to stream live or anything or no? I do mix my own gray wash. I actually have a dynamic solution that I use as well now to mix my own solution. But I do like pre-made gray wash sets. Now, if you're looking for like a consistency and you're not very familiar with mixing your own, I would recommend getting a pre-made. However, if you're comfortable making your own and you do get consistent results, you might as well just make your own. It really just depends on preference, really. I like Eternal because of their high pigmentation. I've heard nothing but good things about Eternal. What type of reactions have you all experienced with people and bad inks? Has anyone like gotten sick or has anyone gotten any like severe skin reactions or have to been hospitalized or anything? That's crazy to even think about. It's actually kind of scary. For me, I haven't had like any reactions to any of the inks that I've ever used. I've only used like brands like Mom's, again like the Black Pearl. I've used Allegory Black, Intense, Dynamic, and a few others that I have on my channel. And from the inks that I've used, I haven't had like any issues, which I'm grateful for. Like no one's gotten any sort of severe skin reactions, even till today. No one's reported anything crazy going on. But I have heard some horror stories with like pigments that aren't designed for tattooing. People using those all the time, which is very unfortunate. I think for me though, what I've have had a reaction to is I've had a reaction to Sanoderm, putting that on my skin. It made me break out in like a sort of hive reaction, but I didn't have that with the ink. And then when I broke out with that sort of hive reaction, it was on my skin, not the tattoo. Music, I have a mix of I have dynamic and sleepy eating scary wash sense, but sometimes I like to make my own. Oh, I get you. Do you get consistent results when you make your own, Isaac? Seeing people get rashes or complete fallout, but thankfully nothing. Yeah, me either, Justin. Thank goodness. That's one of my worries. Like, ever since day one, I've always been like as considerate and mindful as I possibly can be to from the inks, the needles. I always try to get reputable sources, things that other people were saying good things about, you know, products with reviews and stuff like that. So I always try to do my best diligence to keep my client's safety the priority, and it still is. Like if I wasn't prioritizing my client's safety, I would truly feel bad. That's not something that I can comfortably live with, and then kind of let alone get a payment for that. That's just not something my integrity would allow me to do. So I've always been really mindful, and fortunately, I haven't had any reactions either. And all the tattoos that I've done appear to be healing nicely. I've only had one bad reaction. The girl was almost completely rejected. Dynamic triple black. Oh no! Did the entire tattoo fall out? Nothing for crime. That's good. Let's see here. So crime says nothing there. Authority on regulation says I'm going to take a bloodborne pathogens course. Luckily, I've never had any ill or adverse reactions. And when I started, I used wormhole ink on myself. Not much, and nothing happened. Okay, that's actually really good to hear because I've heard a lot of like horror stories about wormhole ink because wormhole ink is like advertised to use on fake skin only. So I've heard a lot of horror stories, so to hear that is a really good thing. And bear with me here. Yeah, you get consistent results, amazing. That's good. Yeah, so do I. So I've noticed though when I use one of my newest gray wash systems, I did a tattoo and it came out a little bit lighter than what I would have wanted. So I have a little bit of work to do. I could have I was using the dynamic pre-made gray wash system before. Those results I was able to anticipate with the new one that I make. I felt like I was too light on my drop system. I felt like I have to add maybe 1 to 2 more drops to each cap the next time around. I feel like that's maybe where I went wrong there. Um, Authority. I don't trust any ink from kits or sets in people's skins. Yeah, I've never used any inks from sets or anything like that, but have heard so many stories about people using sets like that, and no, none of them have had anything to report. Most of those people that I've seen, whether it was in the comment section online or anywhere that use kit inks, are doing well and nothing happened with their skin. So that's a relief as well, which kind of makes it, maybe it's like on a rare occasion that someone would have a reaction, is my sort of speculation. What would you do? What would you tell your client if your client had an allergic reaction? Like, what do you say? You tell them to take like Benadryl? That's what I would do. I would tell them to either advise to see a doctor to see if they can get medications, or if they were in a position to do that, to see if there's an anti-allergy sort of medication to kind of help either the swelling of the skin, or maybe I would start with like witch hazel on the skin, something like that. I would definitely advise them. I'm not a doctor, so I can't diagnose exactly what this is or happening. For that, I apologize. That's just a really unfortunate situation. It's really scary to think about. I think the only tattoo that ever rejected, I would say, I guess rejected, I'm not even sure that's the right word, would be the tattoos that I did on my fingers when I was first starting. But the only reason why they fell out is because my technical application wasn't correct. So I didn't apply the tattoos the way that I should have, so I lost them. I wouldn't trust it now. That's a few years back. Oh, okay, so that was even a few years ago. And the areas that you tattooed with that ink authority, how are they doing now? Do you experience any sort of like raising on the skin or allergic reactions? Like as of today? So Isaac says, yeah, I did. It was crazy, but she didn't need antibiotics or anything. It just scabbed and fell out. But that was the only time that has ever happened to me, by the way. I do have a little. Oh, okay. So, what did you tell her, Isaac, when that happened? Was she upset? Yeah, so do I, Justin. Typically, I'll get like intense or dynamic. I do get reputable inks. Oh, I get you. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't trust it either. I mean, I would use it for fake skin maybe at that, but I'm not sure how the workflow or experience would be. Do I think Dragonhawk cartridges are bad? No, definitely not nap tattoos. I like it. Just depends on which one. I've tried the purple ones, and from my experience with those, they've been nothing but great. I do like those, and I would definitely use them again. My cartridges keep getting jammed in my machine. What cartridges are you using, and what machine are you using? With Sanoderm, it says to test a 10 before getting tattoos. Yeah, exactly. I saw that too. That's exactly what I do now. I'll cut a little square, then I'll place it on to see how people react. That's exactly what I do now. And if they react a certain way, then I just tell them we can't use that and they can't get tattooed by me. I'm just kidding. I won't say that, but I'll definitely still tattoo them. But I won't use a Sanoderm. I had a breakout. It's crazy because I didn't know about that technique before. I just simply slapped the Sanoderm on my fresh tattoo, and that was that. And I had an allergic reaction, which stayed for like 3 to 4 weeks. It lingered for a while. Isaac says, I find that recovery film works a little bit better than sanitary. I haven't heard of recovery film. What is that? No, a fine line, black flag symbol. Oh, that's awesome. And they're still holding up strong? Authority? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like setting up coil machines. I actually have a new coil machine that I got from Inklaw that I'm going to be checking out here with you all soon. I was kind of confused myself, but she didn't complain or anything. She said she had had it happen with the previous tattoo, so I think her skin just doesn't like tattoos. Oh, okay, Isaac. Yeah, it could be that. It could be that she's actually really sensitive to it and that her skin just in general maybe rejected it. That's so odd. I wish that we were able to kind of like pinpoint skins that were going to behave this way so that way we can kind of either one, maybe decline the tattoo or know a better way to approach them. Nap Tattoo says, I have an Injecta Elite Flight Nano, and I'm not sure if I'm just not using the torsion bar right. That would be hard for me to say. I don't have, I've never used the Injecta Elite Flight Nano. I have seen it. So it's hard for me to say off of the top. Now, the grip that you were using, is it designed for cartridges? I'm not sure if the Injecta even has a built-in cartridge on its own. Forgive me for not knowing better. I apologize. I'm not experienced with that machine though. Because tubes, because I had disposable tubes. I heard some bad stuff when people. Yeah, so I heard like something about like heartbeats and like rhythmic changes with numbing cream, especially over like large portions of the body as well. I haven't used numbing cream for a long time, but when I did use Hush, which I never had any issues with. Would I still use it today? Probably. It just depends. I mean, me personally, I would just prefer to kind of skip over the numbing process, and it also puts like a little like strain on the tattooing process. It makes me feel like I have to complete the tattoo before the numbing, the numbing agents are done and worn out. I don't like that, so there's that aspect. I know that's like a mental thing, but there's that as well for me. It's a Sanadrim company name, Recovery. Oh, okay, yeah, I haven't heard of it yet, but it's a little more gentle. Oh, okay, I'm definitely gonna check that out. Yeah, because I have to get some new Sanadrim as well. I have a little bit left. Using numbing cream is to be an hour before tattoo appointment, but I tell people not to use it because it can cause redness and makes the skin feel different. That's also what I've heard. Yeah, I've heard people say that it makes the skin like more soft, or I guess an elastic sort of feel. How positive? I mean, you know how right that is. I don't know. To each their own, though. Yeah, it's meant for cartridges. I can get it working with a 3 but I have to keep tweaking. Yeah, that doesn't sound right, nap tattoos. That doesn't sound right at all. It should kind of be like plug and play. Like, here's the Ink Claw Challenger tattoo machine, my cartridge, and this is a ballpoint cartridge, so it's the same size as that you were using. It's just a ballpoint cartridge. It should be plug and play and like that. It shouldn't fall out or shouldn't be too hard or get stuck in there. So something could be going wrong. Yeah, but I'm grateful though that I have yet to experience any sort of adversities. And I'm grateful that my clients are all still in great health. Thank you. On a side note, thank you for those who are spending the morning with me. Thank you for those who have joined. I appreciate you very much. Real quick as well, the workbook that I'm working in right now is a workbook that I created that is available on my Amazon author page. If you head on over to Amazon.com, type in Daniel Yuck on Amazon.com, you'll see this workbook, which is called the Facial Feature Guide, amongst an assortment of others that I created that are designed to help us develop and progress. We can do this practice anytime, any place. As long as we have a machine, pen, or a pencil, we can get to practicing. This is how I go about warming up for the day. I think what's also great is like when life happens and I'm not able to get to the full setup, I take this with me anywhere I go, and I take multiple books with me, like the lining, my shading books, and that way I can practice these fundamentals on the go, stay sharp with everything. I would think, I think, I would think that you would like the feedback. No, they told me, no, I'm not gonna. Everyone's different. I guess if you mean feedback, like the pain that we feel, everyone's different. I think some people feel like going through the pain is like earning the tattoo, while others feel like numbing it is the way to go. To each their own. I'm not, I'm not really against either or. I think that if someone already has sensitive skin and hard to work with skin, where they're more prone to rejection, then I would say to stay away from numbing agents. That's what I would personally do. Numbing cream wears off. It hurts way more due to all the pain hitting at once. I'll still be tattooed. I don't know if that made sense. Yeah, I do understand that. It's like, so the pain is numb for, so when I use numbing cream, the pain will be numb for about a good, easy 30 to 45 minutes, and then gradually start wearing off after that. And it takes like a gradual process of about another 30 minutes maybe for it to completely wear off. And by that time, the tattoo is like completely tender. It's some parts are unbearable. Sometimes I may even have to just kind of go back because I can't touch that part again. So that is actually true. I would agree with that, as opposed to if we got it organically the entire way, our body kind of would have done its thing, I guess, to kind of protect us and to help manage and minimize the pain along the way. So in theory, I do agree with that. Again, I'm not like a doctor or a scientist, so in theory, I would say that that's how I see it too. I agree with that, Isaac. Yes, I'd rather a person tell me if they don't have blood flow and everything. Person. That's crazy. I have never had a person pass out during a session. The most that I've had is people get like a little bit irritable because of the pain, maybe like some groanings and stuff like that. Like I guess trying to help manage, maybe like squeezing of the fist, but nothing with like that you see on the internet where people are like, like actually like moaning in pain and shaking and twitching and all types of stuff like that. I have never personally experienced that or seen that, not in real life at least. And I have never had anyone pass out either, and I'm grateful for that. I know. I used to see an artist on TikTok, and it was like some guy. I think he would tattoo out like his kitchen, and he would do that. Like every single client was expressing the exact same reaction. And in my opinion, from my experience, every client is different. Every client has a different reaction. So when I saw that, immediately I kind of rose a red flag. I started asking, why is everyone in pain? And it was more so about the technical application. I think that the artist may have been kind of doing that on purpose, or if the artist wasn't doing that on purpose, they were very, very. Uh, I guess it was like they were very unacquainted with what it took to technically apply a tattoo correctly without traumatizing the skin and or putting the client through more pain than they need to experience. I think it's weird though when an artist doesn't consider pain to be like a threat or something real that we need to manage with the client when it totally is. In my opinion, I feel like pain should be managed as best as we can. Meaning, and for the artists like us, what we can do to help manage clients' pain is have our technical application down. Know, what driving the needle in is. What too deep is too deep. Too light, too light. All of that stuff matters and plays a role and adds up. So I kind of feel like maybe the artist wasn't really technically inclined, so to speak. Let's see. So people go crazy hard in tattooing. Authority says, I just was gonna say I heard of people going into shock from long. Yeah, exactly. And like long sessions in like sensitive areas, I'll definitely take breaks. Like if it's gonna be like some sort of like back piece or a full leg piece, something like that, it's definitely gonna be broken down. If not into multiple sessions, the same day we're still gonna be taking breaks, making sure the person gets up, stretches, eats, making sure they're good the entire way. I have like this really bad habit as well to kind of over ask my client if they're doing okay, just because I want to have their best interest. I want to make sure that they're okay throughout each and every part of the process. It's just the way that I am as a tattoo artist. Haven't, but I tend to do myself and I've done my life and family. Hey, Justin, how did those tattoos come out? Oh, that's awesome. You got a tattoo yesterday. What artist did it yesterday at the convention? So I had to hold my friend on the table because she was moving too much for the artist. I swear she tried raking my fingers. I feel like when I get tattoos, I'm a pretty good client. I kind of just stay put and I kind of like mind my business until the artist is done. It's scary. I've had one client pass out and have a seizure. I threw my gloves off, tinted my arm on the side, tinted on the side. He slipped out and asked me what I was doing. Oh, okay. So he hadn't ate or slept, so he went into a seizure and passed out. That's scary, man. Was anyone else there to witness that, Isaac? She got a small tattoo between her stomach and hip. Oh, the small tattoo between the stomach and hip. Letting the skin cool off with spray and cooling towels. Yeah, like when I need to give the skin a break, what I'll do is I'll use Bactine first, and then that'll go ahead and help ease the pain and numb it a little bit for the client, which always does wonders for making the client feel more comfortable. Bactine always works wonders at making them feel comfortable. And then after that, I'll do some witch hazel as well to kind of help the redness and swelling as well. I automatically fed him and sent him home for a different session. Yeah, man, that's actually the best way to go about it. Man, that's scary. That's actually really sad. I would hate to experience that. I would just, if I tattoo those people again, I would just be super careful, you know. And then like, if I know people are more prone to like passing out and seizures, and I'll have like maybe some food, candy on hand for them, sodas. You get the idea to kind of help them a little bit if worst case scenario happened like that. So just to clarify, I came in a little late to the live. Are we just using a tattoo machine right on stencil sheet? Okay, so that's a good question. Sam, this is going to be a tattooing workbook of mine. I'm actually warming up for the day. This is how I go about doing that. I'm using a tattooing workbook called the Facial Feature Guide Volume 1, and I'm practicing my facial features here with my ink claw and a ballpoint ink claw Challenger tattoo machine and a ballpoint cartridge. And I'm just simply working on this right here, getting this exercise completed. And this is paper right here that I am working on, as you can see. This workbook is also available on Amazon.com. If you're interested in various workbooks that are designed for development, like lining, shading, facial features, I have some for textures and more. Dot work, they're available on Amazon.com. If you head on over to Amazon.com, type in Daniel Yuck, you'll see an assortment of various tattooing workbooks, or you can click the link in the description of this live feed here to take you over to the product pages, as I did link them down below as well for you. But just to confirm, this is a tattooing workbook of mine that I'm using. If I'm going over 2 hours, yeah, me too. I noticed that too. I think like 2 hours is like my healthy time frame that I sit down, and then I'll get up for like 10 or 15 minutes, spray the Bactine, let that calm down, and then go back to it and kind of repeat this as much as needed. As much as needed. If the client needs more breaks in between, I'll definitely give the client more breaks in between. I always try to manage the client as best I can. His name is Josh Cruz from Madison, Wisconsin. Oh, okay. In his tattoo journal. Yeah, this one is the facial feature guide. This one is a different one from the tattoo journal. So as you can see, the facial feature guide, volume one. This one's designed for faces, where the tattoo journal volume one would be for lining. I actually have that over here. Let me show you. So this would be the tattoo journal volume one right here. And this one would be for lining. So if you're wanting to practice lining, this one would be, as you can see, has loads of lining exercises. So they are different books. I do have multiple various books. So Tattoo Journal Volume 1, this one's the facial feature guide. Right now I'm just practicing in there, getting ready for the day here. I appreciate those who are helping me answer. I may not be able to answer in a timely manner. For that, I apologize. Yeah, his cousin was there and he said, "Thank you for being so fast and knowing what to do." Yeah, man, I do feel like we as the artists should have some sort of plan and play. It shouldn't be a thing where if we're met with these sort of predicaments where we kind of freeze, we should have a sort of response system in play, I feel. I feel like that's part of being a good tattoo artist as well. So question, do machines do I use it personally, practicing with ambition toward 28 shading? For me, lately, I've been using a couple of OG Produce tattoo machines that I've been practicing with. I've been using a couple of OG Produce machines. I'm actually going to be reviewing them for you all, but I've been using the Frequency Master. This is an ink, I think this is going to be the Ink Master, Pioneer Frequency Master, something like that. It's a weird name, but close to that name. I've been using this one. Here's another OG Produce. These are good machines, but like some of my go-to machines are probably going to be my ink claw tattoo machines. I do have a few, especially for human skin. It'll be my ink claw tattoo machines for sure. I have a Numa. I have a Numa as well. Numa 4, that one's good. And my CNC machines are also awesome. I do use a lot of different machines. I don't have like any one specific that's my favorite as of now, but maybe as I start growing into tattooing, maybe I will pick one over time. But as of now, I don't have one specific. I kind of use a lot of different machines. I'm also going to be doing some more giveaways as well with you all. The giveaway, I decided I'm going to be doing it on a live stream. So how I'm going to do it is I'm going to go live, and then it's going to be like a raffle where I'll announce the day that I'm going to go live, and then I will go live that day, and then everyone who wants to try to win the printer or whatever I'm going to be giving away will drop their name in the live stream. I'll have like my iPad type their name into a raffle app and then just kind of raffle it at the end of the time stamp there. I'll go ahead and take names for about maybe like 30 minutes, 45, and just type people's names that want to submit. And then after that, I'll go ahead and raffle it like that. So I think that's going to be the new raffle workflow. For the giveaway. It's also not until I start practicing like different styles that I'm not comfortable with that really let me know that stepping outside my comfort zone is very uncomfortable at first. But once I start making small improvements, I start feeling a lot better about my skill sets and abilities. So it also helps me build confidence. You have a bowl of candy and a refrigerator with drinks for clients. I always recommend a good night rest and a meal before appointments. I don't know if he just didn't think it was necessary. Yeah, it's really weird. I'm exactly the same way whenever I tattoo as well. Like, especially if it's gonna be like a longer session, I'll even get like some like breakfast tacos or something for me and my client, and then we'll kind of eat while I'm setting up, and then get into the tattoo, and then when lunch comes around, we'll kind of do our own thing while we're eating lunch, and then come back to it, something like that. But I'm always very, very mindful of that as well. It's a big priority that my client makes it through the entire session without fainting, passing out, or having any sort of adversities at all. I use a Bishop One Packer. I've heard good things about that machine. Is it good, Isaac? The Bishop One Packer? Yeah, bring a drink and snacks just in case. Kind of come from one hand. You can use it for packing, lighting, shading without having to switch machine. That's awesome. I'm definitely gonna have to check it out. I've heard nothing but good things about the Packer, so it may be something that I kind of look into here in the near future. Because, yeah, because I know some friends. Yeah, I know, right? I feel like having a heavy hand as a tattoo artist is kind of unnecessary. We don't need it. We don't need a heavy hand, so I don't understand the purpose of it. Just began tattooing due to you. Hey, that's awesome. I appreciate that. If you have any questions, Giwon, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Let me know. I'm here to help you in any way I can. Using your ambition, I can run a 4.5 stroke. Oh wow, so just 5.5 volts for packing. That's good. I typically pack like around 6, 6.5. So I like to stay in that ballpark as well. Recently, let me show you all. One second. Hang on. Let me see. Oh, here we are. Um, Recently, I'm going to be doing a review on this guy right here. So here is a machine that I'm going to review with you all. I haven't opened it or anything yet, but I will do that live in a review with you all. But this is going to be, although everything's still closed. This is an ink claw. This is a monster. I haven't used it yet, so I don't know how it feels in hand, but I will have experience with this one very soon. This thing looks like a tank. It's kind of light as well. It's not too. It has a little bit of weight, but not too much. Yeah, I think that the style, the look of that machine is one of my favorites. Um, Coil type of machines have been really growing on me lately. Um, or this style of machine right here, as you can see, here's another ink claw. This one's a more money tattoo machine. These style of machines have really been growing on me lately. I've been using these a lot to not only practice, but I use this machine right here for this tattoo on the last live stream, which is like done a day ago or so. I did this one live. I'm not sure if you all were here, but I used that ink claw machine and it did great. Excuse me. Excuse me there. I have a super light hand thanks to my apprenticeship. The artist who taught me the machine to the word you were just saying. Exactly, yeah, that's exactly how I see it, Isaac. I use just the very tip of my needle and I just let the needle make enough rounds to deposit in a consistent manner. It's very, very rare, if any, that I'll drive a needle ever or apply any extra pressure that I don't need. It's very, very rare. I don't really ever do that actually. Yeah, it is, right? It's very unique. I haven't used it yet, so I don't know how it runs or anything, but I will be sure to let you all know, and I'll do some lives with it so y'all can see it live as well. Thank you. I love Inkclaw too. Yeah, I haven't tried the Bishop, so I can't say, but I have a really good feeling with the experience that I have, like with Inkclaw and stuff. Even if I had the Bishop Packer, I probably would still lean towards my Inkclaw just because of my style. Like, meaning I don't always drift to one machine. I can pretty much use any machine and get the same result. So I guess now for me, I don't really necessarily care what machine I use. I care more about if it's comfortable, if I'm comfortable with that machine, and that's pretty much it. If I'm comfortable with a machine, I can do anything that I need to pretty much. I also use the back drag method to get light shading. It works wonder. Oh, okay, I get you. Yeah, bishops are pricey as well. I think they're like maybe like what, like a grand or something like that. Oh wow, you would think that it's the opposite. I had no problems with like pen style tattoo machines when I first started. Coils would hit too hard for me, so I think everyone's is different maybe. If you Giwo, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. If you go to my YouTube channel, I have a video needle depth. If you go to the video section of my YouTube and then you type in needle depth, you're going to see that I have multiple videos where I talk about needle depth and I share with you multiple ways that you can go about finding the needle depth. There are practical ways that you can use, or there are practical methods that you can use to locate the proper depth. There's actually a bunch of different fundamentals that are working together at one time to create those sort of results. But if you head on over to the video section, type in needle depth on my YouTube channel, you'll see an assortment of full in-depth videos that can tell you full in-depth on how to find your depth. I remember I focused on just finding my depth for months. Like that's literally all that I did. Every single day that I woke up, I got a fake skin out and I just literally created lines, little dashes over and over and over and over. Then I created the tattoo journals to help progress even further. I'm on month one and I'm on lines only. Uh, hey Sam, if you're on month one, if you're just starting out, you may want to check out some of my workbooks. I do have some that are dedicated to helping you line better. You may want to check that out at Amazon.com. You type in Daniel Yuck. I have a book that's dedicated to lining. I have 3 volumes starting at a beginner level, intermediate, and then advanced. That one's called The Tattoo Journal. And there's many more, so you may want to check them out and see if any of those fit you. If you're scared, you could just adjust your machine and just ride the tube. That's true. That's how I started riding the tube. But for me, it was much more difficult to ride the tube than it was just to figure out how to float it. Everyone's different. Everyone's going to have like, their own approach. But for me, I prefer just to stay away from the tube. Oh, okay. Your name is Dutch. I appreciate you. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Sam. I appreciate your time. Thank you for the support on that. Yeah, Giwoon, this is a book. This is one of my workbooks. I have an assortment of workbooks that are designed for beginners or even professionals to help stay developed or develop their skill sets. So this is a workbook that's dedicated to tattoo artists. All of my books are for tattoo artists. and they are helping us, or they are designed to help us develop with lining, shading. This one is going to be for facial features, so I can get comfortable applying eyes, hair textures, noses, lips. You get the idea. This is volume 1 of the facial feature guide, and I'm just simply practicing on paper. You can see that I'm not breaking through, which means I'm off to a very good start. We have just a little bit of indentation there, but from the multiple layers that I am applying to this piece of paper here, and as you can see, it's very, very thin. So the way that I look at it is, if I'm getting shading on this paper, then I'm off to a good start, because the skin is a little bit more, I believe, a little bit thicker, or about the same as this. So if we're able to shade on this, then we're heading in the right direction, I feel. Yeah, me too. I feel like writing the tube is messy. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions, Sam. You as well, Giwoon. If you have any questions about the books, please let me know. These books are available on Amazon.com. If you go to Amazon.com, type in Daniel Yuck. These books are available there, or they are in the description of this live feed right now, and you can check the links in the description below. Stencil applicator that I use, Isaac. As of lately, I've been using Stencil Prep. Stencil Prep is probably my favorite applicator that I've ever used, simply because it works. I don't lose any stencil or anything like that. So as of lately, I've been using Stencil Prep. I actually did an in-depth review on that. It's available on my channel as well. Oh, I had another question on TikTok. Nap Tattoos had asked me about his cartridge. He was using Dragonhawk cartridges, and they were in his injector, and they were getting stuck, he said. So he was trying to figure out why they were getting stuck, and I couldn't figure out why, because I don't have experience with that machine. I'm not sure if he's still here or not. Especially Daniel, are so much better. Oh, I appreciate that authority. I look at myself as still growing as well. I'm learning every day. I don't see myself better than anyone, and I don't even think that I'm like the best tattoo artist or one of the most talented. I am a tattoo artist, and I'm here to share my journey, and that's how I look at it, really. So I appreciate those kind words. That means a lot to me. Yes, that is a spray bottle with a purple label, the Stencil Prep. That is correct. You'll see if you go to my YouTube channel, you type in Stencil Prep, you'll see the review there. I love that stuff, man. It changes the pH of the skin, and it really does hold the stencil up. Like, if you have problems with stencil loss, then you may want to try that out. I don't think I would use any other applicator. Like, I wish I could buy Stencil Prep by the gallon. I think that's actually possible. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I've seen that yet, or if I just kind of made that up. Just real quick again, for those who may be joining or curious, this is a tattooing workbook that is available on Amazon, on my Amazon author page. If you go to Amazon.com, type in Daniel Yuck, you'll see this workbook amongst an assortment of other workbooks that are designed to help us develop on multiple fronts, from lining, shading, textures, wildlife, dot work, and more. Floral, there's even some floral guide that's floral specific. And I do also have another book coming out this month that I'm very excited for. I won't say anything now about it, but I will release more details soon for you all. I'll just let you know that I do have a book coming out this month. Or another book. Yeah, man, it does work good. He says, I have like 6 different applicators. I love the Bishop one. It holds too good. Oh, wow, really? So, The Bishop applicator. Have you compared the Bishop applicator in comparison to the Stencil prep? Like, would you say they're both like they hold the same? Because I haven't found anything that holds the same way that Stencil prep does, but I've never used the Bishop applicator. Unless the Bishop applicator also changes the pH of the skin, which is possible. No, it's different stepping outside my comfort zone and applying these sort of designs. I really just kind of have to trust the process and trust the steps that I'm taking. It says here, I'd say they hold the same, both work super good. Oh, okay, I'm gonna look into that. What's the name of that applicator you're referring to from them, from Bishop? My artist at the convention has that one. Oh, okay, that's awesome. The Bishop applicator? That's cool. Oh, okay. Dang, that's a lot of applicators. Yeah, I've tried Stencil stuff and Stencil prep and good old fashioned speed stick for fake skins as well as green card for fake skins. Yeah, Stencil stuff was my first one, but I prefer Stencil prep. Yeah, exactly. I agree with Isaac. Once I found out about Stencil prep, Stencil stuff was pretty much game over for me. Stencil stuff is good though. Don't get me wrong. Stencil stuff is great. Um, but if you're an artist, like for me, for example, I do like mandalas and stuff like that. So the last thing I want is my stencil uh, fading or falling off or coming out on me during the session. So I would prefer to have the stencil prep, so that way I have the stencil the whole entire time. Every artist is going to be different. Some may not need the stencil to hold like that, while others do. So for my style, I feel like I do need them to hold up the entire session and maybe even a little after, just to ensure that I apply the entire tattoo correctly. I'm really learning patience here as well because I tend to kind of want to naturally keep speeding up. I haven't used any sort of definitive hardlining or anything like that. I'm just using a series of back and forth motions to create this here. Alright, I'll have to try that. Stencil stuff. I've never had a stencil. Oh, I get you. For me, I've let stencils apply. I'll let them sit for like 20, 40 minutes, and I guess it's just my application. It has to be the way that I'm applying it. I'll still lose the stencil sometimes, or at least a portion of it. Stencil it by Bishop. Okay, stencil it. I'm gonna look that up. Purple Max Stencil Gel is the only applicator I mentioned. The only realism, so I need my stencils to hold as well. Oh, okay, okay. That's probably why you have so many applicators. That's awesome to know, Isaac. I appreciate you sharing that knowledge, man. Thank you. Yeah, that's actually a good way to start, Justin. I don't see anything wrong with that. That's actually practical. I will be doing giveaways as well for some machines. As I get machines like to review or I buy them, I go ahead and give them back to you all as much as I can. So you may want to stick around for some giveaways. You may end up winning one. It's hard to say for sure if you will win or not, but it's definitely worth a try to enter. But yeah, I will be hosting more giveaways. I like to like review machines that people ask me to review, and then I'll do like giveaways and stuff with that. I'll keep a select few machines for myself as well so that I can continue to tattoo. Like this one right here, this one's an ink claw challenger, but this one, if we look right here, it has my Daniel Yuck logo on the back of it lasered into this machine. So this is like a custom machine for me. Although the model of the machine is open to public, this one has my logo on the back right here. Yeah, I agree, and that would just come with time. Like I think having a good machine isn't necessarily the priority. I've used, lower end $70 machines that are actually really good for that price point, and they do wonders. I'm able to do full, tattoos with it. So it's not necessarily about the machine. It's just as we start developing and have our own, specific preferences, then we start wanting more from our machines. And then I think once you get to that point, you'll know what machine's right for you. For those who are watching, thank you very much. I appreciate you all joining. I appreciate the support you all have shown. I appreciate the contribution and the information you all are sharing. I'm genuinely appreciative. Thank you. I'm going to do a few more moments here and then I'll conclude this warm-up stream. And I probably will be going live again at some point, maybe for my tattoo session today when I do some practicing on fake skin. I'll go ahead and go live with you all again. Justin, Isaac, I appreciate you all joining. Thank you for spending this morning with me here. I'm genuinely grateful. And the others here who are contributing as well. Sam, if you're still here, thank you. Bree Bree, thank you for joining. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Delic Authority, thank you all very much. Yeah, of course. Thank you, Authority. I appreciate you. Hey, Justin. Yeah, man. I love Tattooing 101. I like their course. And they're also some cool dudes as well. Tattooing 101 is a good course. I've checked it out and I like it. Hey, that's awesome to hear, Isaac. I'm grateful that I'm able to help you like that, man. It always means a lot hearing that. When I say that I'm grateful and I appreciate you, I really do mean that. You have no idea. That's awesome to hear. Been watching your channel since August when I got my first tattoo. How it's done. I've been interested in tattooing since I was. Hey, Bree Bree. If you're looking to get into tattooing, if you have any questions, by all means, please feel free to let me know. If you're already tattooing, I do have a Patreon where I do in-depth follow-alongs, like step-by-step follow-alongs where we tattoos from beginning to end. You can ask unlimited questions. There's also a community group chat, and you get access to free stencils. So if you're just starting out, you may want to check out my Patreon. I also have tattooing workbooks that are dedicated to help developing as well. This one is the facial feature guide, which is helping me practice my facial features. So for this morning, I'm warming up by practicing this eye right here and the textures that I need to, or the textures and motions that I need to make this happen right here. There's also books about lining dedicated to help you learn how to line. There's also books for shading. They are available on Amazon.com. If you go to Amazon, type in Daniel Yuck, you'll see an assortment of these workbooks there. This one is for lining, and this one's just an introduction to basic lining. You could practice with a tattoo machine as well, as you see me doing here. So I will use the book and then a tattoo machine to warm up. Bro, I'm new to the channel. Stick and poke. Just yesterday, test my finger up on my own as I found the machine too raw. Oh, okay, yeah. So everyone's different. Now it depends on like voltage. So if you're running like at a higher voltage, the machine could be a little bit aggressive. There are machines that do hit softer. So like, let's say if you're using like a 4-stroke or higher, then the machine could come off a little bit more aggressive and hit harder, as higher strokes do hit harder. But there are softer hitting machines as well. I tried stick and poke as well. I gave stick and poke a little try. That's very difficult. So people who stick and poke and come out with clean tattoos, I tip my hat to them because that's definitely not easy. I appreciate the support on the channel as well, Bree Bree. Thank you. If you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to drop a comment on a video. I'll do my best to assist. See, so right now I find myself kind of naturally speeding up my tempo and not really realizing it. And I'm going to start producing inconsistent results if I just keep that pace up. So you can kind of see that I'm acknowledging where I'm kind of going wrong so that way I can correct it before things were to get a little out of hand. Well, that's coming out nice. I like the way that's reading. Hey, Isaac, I'll see you later, Isaac. Kindness is free. Thank you for joining, Isaac. I'm grateful for you spending the morning with me. Thank you for your time, man. Thank you for the information as well. I appreciate you. Have a good day, Isaac. Yeah, you're welcome, Bree Bree. Justin, coil machines are definitely noisier and they do hit harder. I agree. From my experience with coil machines, they are definitely noisier. They do definitely have a harder hit. I think that's essentially why I gravitated towards pen style tattoo machines when I first started, because the first machine that I ever got was a coil machine. And to me, it was just too, not only too hard hitting, but the like position that I held the machine in wasn't really optimal for me. Didn't really feel right in my hand. I gotta use just light motions here as I don't want to go too dark too quickly. Take care, Isaac. Yo, Justin, you're going back to the convention today? I'm not sure if that was you or if that was Isaac. I apologize if I got mixed up there. I guess I want to from northern Wisconsin. I'll be there. Yeah, I've heard of the name Adam Darklord. I think he has a YouTube channel as well, and he does like reviews and stuff about tattoo gear as well. I think he's the guy that always wears that hat, right? I think Adam will actually occasionally, from time to time, even leave comments on my channel. But that name sounds so familiar to me. That's cool, man. That sounds like a fun day. Yeah, then I know who you're talking about. That's cool, man. Yeah, he'll occasionally drop in on my YouTube channel and leave comments as well. He seems like a cool guy. He has good content too. Oh, that's a big difference between the one that I'm working on and this one right here. It's kind of like where we started, where we're at right now. It's a very slow, gradual process. So one thing that I'm definitely learning from this warm-up is that slow and steady will definitely win the race when it comes to these sort of designs. M2. Yeah, that's cool. I don't know him on a personal level, so I've never met him or anything like that. So it's good to hear about other people being cool people. I do like talking to artists that are like-minded as well. For me, it's not that like I don't have like issues with people, and I don't really like have problems or hate anyone or have beefs with people like that. But for me, I prefer to have like-minded people, meaning like if someone asks me a question, I'd be more than happy to answer it as best I can without being like snide or lying about it. I would just simply answer the question. I would want to put myself around other people that are like-minded like that. Like if I was curious on something that they were doing or using, if I asked a question, then they wouldn't make me feel bad about that, you know? So I'm the same way. Yeah, man, right. I agree. And I'm learning that here. I'm not really like, I guess this style is way outside of like my norm. I typically do like these sort of designs where we have like lining and shading and dot work. This is like my style. This is what I love doing. But I do want to kind of progress and develop as much as I can. I don't see how that can be bad. That's what I'm doing here. And I do know now that taking my time is definitely going to be the way to go, as I can see the results are completely different from where we started to where we can be. I do small tattoos and cartoons. Oh, that's awesome, man. Do you do color? Portraits are definitely something that takes slow. It has so many elements to take, like shading and detail that brings it to. Exactly, yeah. And not only that, one thing that I'm noticing is I'm having to like layer up, like be real precise with my layering and real accurate in order to get the shading exactly where I need it and transitioning the way that I need it to. So there's that aspect that I'm learning now as well. Sam, that's why I follow your channel, zero gatekeeping and judgment, only facts. Hey, I appreciate that. I try to keep it as neutral as I can. It may not be for everyone, that sort of like style or approach, but I do try to keep it as neutral as I can to make it a sort of environment where all of us are welcome. You know, the last thing I want to do is make people feel worse than they may already feel. The last thing I want to do is make someone's day harder. And the last thing I want to do is make someone feel bad about something that they're trying to learn. So therefore, you know, I'll answer questions as I best I can. If I can't answer the question, like I don't have an answer, I don't like misinforming, so I'll just simply say that I don't have an answer. not always like that. You know, sometimes it can be discouraging in the tattoo community, especially if you ask questions to the wrong people. That's happened to me several times. I like roses and cinnamon. Yeah, Justin, you can send them to me. Send me some images of what you've done. My email would be info@danieluck.com. You can send some images there. Let me check them out. I want to see what you've done. Yeah, exactly. The contrast within the shading. I'm finding that's super, super important. Typically, like for example, when I do floral designs, I'll have like a same like dark tone that I reach on every single petal. With realism, it's not like that. With this sort of like approach, I have lighter tones right here, while I have darker tones right here, some mid tones right here. So I'm understanding where my tones are sitting as well now. And this is something that I was able to kind of get from my other styles. We have to step outside of our comfort zone in order to get new information. Just slow and gradual builds. What do you mean tattoo portfolio? Like a portfolio that I have to show you? I don't have a portfolio on hand, but maybe my YouTube channel could kind of act as that for now. Like I don't have one present to show you. Show you a tattoo I did 2 days ago or a day ago. For those who have joined me this morning, I appreciate you spending your time with me here this morning. I'm truly grateful. I will be going live again, maybe at some point today, to tattoo with you all live. This is going to be my warm-up for today. I will be concluding this live stream here. If anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to drop a comment on the live stream upload, or right now that I'm live for these last few moments, I'll go ahead and do my best to answer. But I will be concluding this live stream here in a few moments. If anyone has any last minute questions, please let me know. All right. Once again, I appreciate everyone watching. Thank you all very much. Hey, Justin, all right. I will go ahead and check that here. For this stream, I feel like this will be a great place to conclude. Justin, thank you for joining. Authority, thank you for joining. Those who have joined and asked questions, if you're still here, thank you. Those who are just joining now, thank you. I appreciate you all. I will go ahead and check those out here in a moment, Justin, and I'm going to go ahead and respond to you as well. Once again, before I go, this workbook is available on Amazon. It is a tattooing workbook called the Facial Feature Guide. Head on over to Amazon, type in Daniel Yuck for this workbook there, or click the links in the description below. That'll be it for this live stream. Stick around, as I will be going live later on at some point. I appreciate your time. Thank you for spending your morning with me. I appreciate you all. Have a good morning.